Adani is again in trouble. The question arises, why is Adani in trouble? The Adani Group, one of India's biggest and most well-known conglomerate, is facing controversy again. This time, the US Department of Justice, that is DOJ, is raising questions. They are accusing top Adani executives, including Mr. Gautam Adani himself, of bribery, fraud, and obstructing justice. If these claims turn out to be true, it could seriously impact investor confidence and even harm India's renewable energy goals. Of course, these are still just allegations and the legal process could take years to unfold. But it's important to understand what's happening. So let's break it down step by step. Here are the three main accusations from the DOJ. The DOJ claims that between 2020 and 24, Adani executives paid over $250 million in bribes to win solar energy contracts. These contracts were tendered by the Solar Energy Corporations of India, that is SECI, a government agency leading the National Solar Mission. These projects promised huge profits, up to $2 billion over the next 20 years. Exactly the profits of up to $2 billion over the next 20 years. Adani Green Energy relied a lot on international funding, raising over $3 billion through loans and bonds. To attract foreign investors, they claimed to follow strict anti-corruption policies. But according to the DOJ, this was just a front. While projecting an ethical image, they were allegedly hiding their bribery activities. The DOJ says this false image led investors to trust them and put in their money under misleading terms. When the US authorities started investigating, the DOJ alleges that Adani's top executives took steps to block the process. This reportedly included deleting records, providing false information, and holding back important evidences. At the center of the controversy is a massive solar energy project that was tendered by SECI. At the time, it was the largest in the world. The project started as a 2 gigawatt plan but later expanded to an ambitious 12 gigawatt, exactly a growth of 6 times. Two companies, Adani Green and Azure Power Global, won the tender, with Adani Green receiving the larger share. Under the tender's terms, both companies were responsible for building and operating large solar farms. In return, SECI would buy the power from them and sell it to the state-run power distribution companies. Now, the trouble began when this power distribution companies refused to pay SECI the rate it had agreed to for purchasing power from these projects. This caused a major bottleneck as SECI couldn't close its end of the deal. As a result, SECI started delaying the signing of contracts with Adani Green and Azure. Although these contracts were supposed to be finalized within 90 days of the tender, 18 months went by and there was still no agreement. To save the project from collapsing, the DOJ claims that executives from the Adani Group paid bribes to officials in various state governments. These bribes were allegedly paid for the benefits and on behalf of Azure Power. The goal was to convince the distribution channels to sign agreements with SECI. One of the distribution channels were on board. SECI could finally sign power purchase agreements with Adani Green and Azure. This move, according to the allegations, kept the project alive. However, this led to another issue. Azure Power allegedly owned $83 million for the bribes that were paid on their behalf. When Azure refused to pay their share, the companies reportedly worked out a non-cash agreement. Azure allegedly transferred its most profitable contract, one for 2.3 gigawatt, to Adani Green to settle the matter. But that raises an obvious question. If this is an Indian company dealing with Indian officials, why is the US stepping in and taking action? Here's the thing. The DOJ's main case isn't actually about corruption charges against Adani executives. It's focused on Azure's officials. The case against Adani executives is primarily about securities fraud. Here's how. Adani Green raised $2 billion through US dollars loans and another $1 billion in bonds from American investors and financial institutions. Before raising that kind of money, companies have to make certain disclosures, provide accurate statements, and go through thorough checks. Adani Green, in its documents and investors' calls, repeatedly claimed that it wasn't involved in corruption and that it had strong anti-corruption systems in place. But according to the DOJ, these claims were false. They allege that while Adani Green told investors their operations were clean, the company was actually engaged in bribery. This is the crux of the DOJ's case. Adani Green raised money from US investors under false pretenses. Since the US can't directly charge Adani for corruption that happened in India, they are pursuing the company for lying to investors about not being corrupt. So with all that said, the big question is, what are the consequences? If these allegations are proven true, the fallout could be massive. We are talking about billions of dollars in fines, losing access to global funding, and significant damage to the Adani Group's reputation. On top of that, arrest warrants have reportedly been issued against Gautam Adani in New York over bribery allegations. This means he could face legal proceedings in the US, including the possibility of arrest, a trial, and severe penalties if found guilty. Adani Green could also face serious reputational damage, making it harder to win new contracts or attract investors in the future. But the impact doesn't stop here. These allegations could spark a wave of scrutiny in India, pushing authorities to dig deeper into corruption and fraud in corporate dealings. This could go beyond the Adani Group, reshaping how similar projects are managed and governed. In short, this isn't just another corporate controversy, it's a major accountability test. With US authorities involved, what might have stayed a regional issue has now become a global one. The outcomes here could influence how companies in India and other emerging markets approach governance, how investors evaluate trust, and even the future of renewable energy development worldwide. So this was Vishwa Ahuja signing off.